This is the situation in Isheri Riverview Estate. Of course, in Lagos, southwest Nigeria. Now, Isheri Estate is, of course, between Lagos and Ogun State. This has been the situation for over 8 years, and even counting. The people of this area have been living with this situation for years, and it is unfortunate and unheard of that government has not done anything about this. Now, the most unfortunate part of it is that many of the residents in this area actually bought their lands from a government, both from Lagos and Ogun State government. And now, it would interest you to know that last year I was here and I spoke with the governor of Ogun State, talking about Governor Dapo Abiodun, and he promised that they will contain the situation. But up until now, as you can see, the situation has remained the same. The question is, who is fooling who? Could we then say that, just like some other people have said, a few people that I've spoken to, they say that government is a scam. Do we then say that the government of Nigeria is a scam? Why would government promise people to salvage their situation, and with all of their promises, it end up being an empty promises? The water, according to the people here, is even better this year, because last year they said that the level was even higher than this. It's quite unfortunate, but the situation as it is right now, we will take it to them, let them see it, and let's put it straight to the governor and, of course, the minister. Let us hear what they have to say. Why have they promised? Why the empty promises? Is this how the people will continue to live? I mean, this is quite inhumane. If we say that we are government and we're practicing democracy, I think this should not be a situation where human beings should be. Well, let's keep our fingers crossed and just stay with us and see what the situation is like. From Isheri area of Lagos and Ogun State, I'm Adenike Owoye Ajiboye, reporter for Super Screenings. Ladies and gentlemen, because it is important for us to hear from the appropriate quarters what the development is in this very community. Join me to welcome Ola Oresoya, the Honorary Commissioner for Environment, Ogun State. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Right. And good day.
All right, beautiful. So, sir, quickly, let's hit the nail on the head. We are still on the sorry tale of, let me say, rich landlords in the Isheri north of course, between Lagos and Ibadan. I would like you to update us on what the government of Ogun State is actually doing in responding to the plight of these residents, sir.
Well, first, let me start by saying that the level of energy will dissipate to these incidents when it occurs. If we have deployed the same energy during early part of the year when the government gave advice on what's going to happen in that area, probably things will have been a lot better. Early part of the year, we gave an advice, we gave a press release, and that is immediately after the national flood outlook released by NIMET and by Nigerian Hydrological Report about the rainfall pattern and the flow we ought to do. Investigate this report, and we mentioned areas that are floodplains that are going to be susceptible to flood, as recognized under the national prediction also because of their geographical location. This Isheri area is one of the critical areas
Hello, sir.
we mentioned. We mentioned we have a lot of states there, and these new estates, because of the nearness to Lagos, most people who cannot live in Ikoyi or highbrow area develop these estates without taking advice on the geographical location and the vulnerability that they have in that area. So now we have to live with that problem almost every year because they have built right inside floodplain. They have built right floodplain. Can I go ahead, please?
Please write on. We are all ears.
All right. So all we have to do now is that a mistake has occurred. You have a private estate there, you have a government estate there, all of them built without the appropriate infrastructure that can make the place habitable. For example, look at the Eco Atlantic, right inside water. They are building there. And at the level at which the sand reclamation there is almost at between 9 and 10 meters high of sand reclamation. So once you can operate at a particular height, the tolerable height, you can live anywhere. The opposite is what you have on the Isheri. There is no elevation. There is no elevation above the flood level. And that is why we keep having this recurring problem every year. People are built almost at the flood level. They are built below the road level. Now we have to, what we consider to do was, we did a lot of dredging in the area, and Ogunshu River Basin Authority is also doing dredging there. And the road have to be elevated. Once the roads are elevated, all the houses there, it's either you demolish your house or you reconstruct your house completely. So there are medium terms and long term solutions to the place, and they're not going to happen overnight. But the good news is that we have started. We have started with the palliatives. We have started with information dissemination, technical advice, and that is the first step we are supposed to take. And we have taken that, and we continue. We are not going to leave our people alone there. Mistakes have been committed both on the side of the people, on the side of government. We have inherited this problem, but we must solve it, and that's where we are. That's where we are.
That's a good one. I love the fact that you come to terms with the fact that it's a mistake on the part of government, and of course, the people also have their own blames. Because I was there and I saw that some residents that their own areas are not, or let me say, their own estates are not affected. It is a conscious effort and personal effort for them to raise their own roads in such a way that this water does not flow into their houses. Now, you said that you are going to begin the work, or you have started. You mentioned the fact that with palliatives and what have you. So, but how soon are you going to begin work there? Because I can remember vividly that last year, the ministers and even the governor of Ogun State himself promised that they would find a lasting solution, which was to begin in earnest, which has not happened up until now. How do you react to this?
No, the last year we've started this lasting solution. Like I told you, there are immediate term interventions, there are medium terms, and there are long term intervention. All right. This is a problem of so many years. You cannot eliminate it within few months. And you say that no, no, no. What we said we're going to do, the dredging of the tributaries to Ogun River, we have done that. The state government did that. We did a lot of dredging in that community early in the early part of the year. We said we are going to control, we are going to manage the Oyon Dam. We're going to be so involved with the management of the Oyon Dam so that we give our people advice on what will happen. We have been doing that consistently. We give our people information about Oyon Dam, about the dynamics of the dam, everything like that. We have been doing that right away. So we are not relenting on our efforts in that direction. Now, the medium-term solutions are the road elevation, and that has to do with the design. That has to do with appropriating budget, award of contracts. That will take years to be completed, and the work have started. We have done the design of that one. It's just for award of contract to go ahead. That's on the Ogun State side. Now, on the side of the national government, and we have to construct dike around the Ogun River. That's a federal appropriation. We have to dredge the Ogun River completely across from Lagos to, from Ogun State and to Lagos State. And that's a national assignment. And even last week, we have a member of the National Assembly visited because there's a bill already with them, okay, to appropriate fund for that project. So they came, part of their oversight function, to come and look at that site just last week and to see for themselves, to relate to the problem, they can appropriate fund adequately for it. So these are part of the medium-term approach to the whole process. And now the long term is the the whole area have to be replanted, and resettlement, proper resettlement has to be done in that projection. So people settle there without infrastructure to support human habitation in that area. That's just it.
Done for even deciding to oblige our interview, because what we find out in most cases, and that is where this work becomes very difficult for us. But as members of the fourth estate of REM, continue to try to put government on their toes to deliver, of course, the dividends of the seat. I mean, that is of my findings. I realized, or let me say, filling the polls of people, I realized that the on your dam itself, there are allegations that some foreign individuals actually use it to fish. What do you say to this, sir? Because I saw that, and if you're going to look at my reports, you're going to see that some individuals, like they say that in every sad situation or bad situation, some people would always see a reason for it to be advantageous to them. I saw a man moving, setting traps in that water and caught fishes. So how do you speak to this? Do you say, is this true or not? That some individuals, foreign individuals, are fishing with that very water. And that is why that there is a certain time that the on your dam are supposed to release the water. But because of their fishing activities, they leave it there.
I can't hear you again.
Okay, can you hear me now, sir?
I can hear you now, yes.
Okay, I said that some residents allege that some individuals,
Yes,
foreign
I heard
individuals,
that. I
actually
heard that.
use this very water from the Onyo dam to fish, say a kind of fish pond. And so this is the reason why there is a certain time that they release the water, that there's a way they can do it, that this water level will not rise this much. But because of the purpose that it is serving, which is for the foreign individuals to fish, that is the reason why they leave this water to accumulate this much.
No, I think that is a conspiracy theory that has no relevance with the release of the water. I said that we're involved. I'm an hydrogeologist, and as part of my profession, as part of being an environmentalist, I monitor this so well. There's nothing. The purpose of a dam, all right, why do you have a dam? A dam is to detain water for irrigation, that's agricultural purpose, for electricity generation, for water production, and also for recreation. That's the essence of a dam, and even to control flooding. Okay, now the water area used during drought. That's during drought. During use, can be used for agricultural purpose. So that's exactly what we are doing with the water there. So now that they have to release the water from the dam, whether they are using it for irrigation, for livestock production, or whatever, they release that water. Okay, and what they are releasing right now is a function of what is coming from the northern part of the country. It's from the northern part of the country. Okay, it's transboundary flow, and is a function of the rainfall. It's a function of the rainfall, and they have to release what they have to release. And whether they release water or not, what is causing the problem in that area now, from the water they have to release, what is causing the problem is the rise in the sea level. The sea level rise there. These are people within the shoreline. If it's your dam water release alone that is causing the problem, the whole of Abeokuta should have been in problem. Okay, but the water has to come and enter into the lagoon. But because the lagoon has risen by almost 1.14 meters, on the 18th of October, the lagoon level rose to 1.14 meters. That's above 1 meter. That's a lot. And that will impede any kind of flow into the lagoon. Naturally, there will be a splash, there will be a spillover at the back. And that's exactly what the point is. We are contending with a natural issue, natural event here. We are contending natural event, and there's not much you can do about that. It's a natural thing that is nature. Nature must react. You cannot stop rain. And if you don't release water from the dam, you can have a tendency of a failure of a dam. God forbid us having the kind of failure they have at Allow Dam in Borno State. We don't want such a thing to happen. So Oyon Dam must release water to avoid disaster. If they have to detain water, then there will be problem. So all the conspiracy theory that somebody is farming there, you are on the other upstream of the dam, you are there to do fishing. And that's why you are there for. So forget about the conspiracy theory about somebody's because somebody is farming, somebody is fishing. No, 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 no. Don't let us just explain fundamental issues away from from minor issue that has no reference to what we're talking about.
Then, let me say, as a government, what are you actually doing to help these people at this moment? Because, of course, while I was also there, we saw a dangerous reptile in that water. In fact, the water is so bad that even myself, when so the water actually got to my feet, and till now, I'm still feeling it, honestly. And I saw people that it damaged their legs. We also saw a reptile, a dangerous one for that matter. So what's your plan for the safety of this residents, sir?
First thing we told our people in April this year, this advice to our people, elevate from that area for now. I was even there last week to talk to our people.
Yeah. Sorry, Sonia, can you hear me? Okay, I think we have a bad network. So right about now, you've just heard we've been speaking to the Commissioner for Environment, Ogun State, Ola Oresoya, and so far has been able to debunk the belief of residents and what have you. And he was just talking about what the Ogun State government is actually doing at the moment to ensure the safety of this resident. And of course, he said that before now, they have been a prior warning to the people to leave that place for their safety. But what can they do? Sometimes it's pretty difficult for you to leave your home and then say that you're staying somewhere. It might not be that easy, you know, it might not be that easy. Then what do we talk? What about the businesses that are already in comatose? And these businesses will have to wait. What about the schools? Now, students or pupils who attend schools in this environment, many of them have to, you know, hold on with their studies pending when the water reduces or the ground becomes dry enough for them to apply. So, well, right about now, let's quickly take a short break. And when we return, we'll see if we can still connect with the Commissioner for Environment, Ogun State. So, let's take the right back. Yes, welcome back from that break. Of course, earlier we were speaking with the Commissioner for Environment, Ogun State, but unfortunately the network was bad. But good enough, we are connected again with the Commissioner, of course, virtually. So back to discussion. Commissioner, sir, can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly, loud and clear.
Back to our discussion, which is still on the Isheri flooding and how it affects the residents. You were explaining earlier, but I think I should also make you listen to one of the residents. Of course, is the immediate past chairman in that very community. Because part of there's some questions or there are some things he pointed out in regards to that very flooding, which I would want you to hear. Can we quickly do that now?
Yeah, I think I listened to him, the elderly man.
Oh, you heard him.
Uh,
Okay.
yes, I heard him. I heard him clearly when you interviewed him about the court issues and the rest of it.
Oh, really? Oh, I never knew you were online
Yeah,
there. Okay,
I was
okay. For the
online, all of
benefit of
it.
our viewers, can we just quickly take a listen to him?
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Line you see there is roughly where the flood was.
Okay.
Roughly. Now, what you see here is about 5 inches below what we have today.
Okay.
Is 5 inches below the 2023 flood. And the water they are sending now is about 19 million cubic meters a day. In 2023, it was about 25 million cubic meters a day. Because we are not talking about percentages of days. I mean, covering up what it is that is happening. The important thing is this: they say we are on a floodplain, because I'm going to tackle the questions. But I'll tell you, mile 12 to Ikorodu town, is it not also on the same floodplain? Yes, people go through Ajegunle, Owode, Odogun, Itowolo, yes, and they pass through. Now in 2010, for 8 weeks, it was very difficult to pass along Ikorodu because of this flood. Okay. Because they were doing a study, EIA study for BRT scheme then. Of course, they gave them the recommendation they should raise the level of the road. So, of course, they raised the level of the road, and the Ikorodu road is passable today. So, in the same way,
So if they had also raised,
if we adopt, yes, even if we adopt such remedies, I mean, I don't know, then
we wouldn't find ourselves in this
we
situation.
would not find ourselves here. But the point now is this: I said 2007 there was the flood for the first time.
Exactly.
Now it was at a certain level. 2010, 3 years later, there was a flood. It was half. I said I feel this place 1 meter high. It was half a meter higher. So half a meter of that my feeling disappeared. This line you see here now, that one is 0.85 of a meter above 2007 level.
Okay.
This brown line you see at the bottom of that my gate.
This very one.
Yes, you can see. Yes, you
okay.
So I want you to understand. If you look on the wall, you will see. If you look at the wall there, you can see it. Now, so how have we arrived at this point? It may surprise you that in the 1990s there was no flood, because the reservoir at Oyo Dam was being operated in a certain way. All through the year, from December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, they will release water. They will not release water in August, September, October, and November, in that period. That is, they emptied the dam by the end of July, and then they started filling back through August to November. And except 1 year, 1993, there was no flood. But what do we have today? Around 2011, 2012, the Ministry of Water Resources got some arrangements with some fishing companies. And so did some MOU. And now they started doing fish cage farming on the reservoir at Onion Dam Reservoir. Now, that's against the law. The law that established the River Basin Authority was very clear. They have 4 things that were their priority, which were irrigation, flood control, erosion control, and watershed management. There was no mention of aquaculture. They tried to tell us a multipurpose dam. Yes, a dam can be multipurpose, but the law says that it should be used for 4 things and no more. But they've decided to use it for fish cage farming, and they have abandoned flood control.
Okay, sir. I love the fact that you're taking us down memory lane, history, how we got to where we are. I remember at a point in time, the Ogun State governor was here, and some of the ministers came here, and I posed the question to them that from some quarters it is here that they use this dam for fishing and what have you. But he actually debunked that. My question is, why hasn't the residents come together to actually, I mean, take government to court? Because if you know your right, why wouldn't you fight for it?
Well, the question of going to court for each and every one of us is a matter of our individual choice. When you have a large number of people, it's difficult to get them to agree on what to do. And that is one major thing that is against that.
Yes, Honorable Commissioner, sir. Are you still there with us?
Yes, I'm here with you.
All right. So I would want you to react to some of what the immediate past chairman of that community is saying.
Well, yes, I heard him clearly, and honestly, I don't want to be in contention with him with some of the facts that he puts out. But let me tell you one thing that probably he needs to know. When you say a dam is a multi-purpose dam, that means the dam can be used for several things. And one of the things you use dams for all over the world is the livestock farming, fish farming. All right. What if a dam's objective is to detain water, okay, for flood control? What will you be using the water you detain for? It's going to be hiding away. You'll be looking at the water. Fishes live inside water. So if the dam is not meant for fishing, then that means the dam will be releasing water all the time, and you'll be having flood. So for the dam to have detained the water for whatever reason, maybe for irrigation, for agricultural purpose, that means you are detaining water so that you can use it during the period of drought. So I think there's a bit of contradiction there from the past chairman. And I would love to have his number so I can explain more to him. Then the second aspect of, he mentioned the fact that when he moved in the 90s, there was no flood. I agree with him. Okay. How many houses do we have there in 1990s? I'm sure they can count. Maybe less than 100 houses within the floodplain. However, now go and look at the thousands of constrictions, of obstructions they've given to even the natural valleys there. People block the natural path of the water. And a lot of them, you have more houses that are not allowing percolation. If water has been aggregating in 1 hectare of land before, and water has been percolating, right now, 3/4 of that 1 hectare is already a concrete. Where will the water percolate again? The excess water will be flowing. They built up the whole area and they are still building the area. And you're only calling for anarchy. And that is the essence of what we have there now. And I'm not putting all the blame at the footstep of the residents. All of us, we have our own blame. We have our own blame about development control in that place. The place was left to develop uncontrolled for several years. So these are the things we have to correct. If we have inherited this problem and we have to correct it, then we all have to work together, both the government and the people. And I don't want the resident to now start be putting the blame on, oh, his government, his government, his government. No, we have joint responsibility around that area. And in the interest, in their own interest, it's better to cooperate with government. And I like what he said. Okay, because you asked me a question, why have you not gone to court? I'm sure if they go to court, well, there must be a breach of agreement. And where is the agreement that you had? I mean, if the government will have to take them to court too, it's a different ball game, because there are a lot of houses there with that don't have approval, and some pick up their approval in error, and the rest of it. So it's not a matter of going to court; it's a matter of let us all work together to make the place habitable. He talked about the Korodu Road. After the EIA was done, go and look at the Korodu Road. They have to elevate when the BRT lane, Lamata constructed the road. And that's exactly what we said is going to happen in that estate. The first thing first, we did the dredging. The second thing is to elevate. You have to elevate. It's not going to happen overnight. And I think I mentioned a part of my comment earlier. It won't happen overnight. It has to be a joint effort. Thank you.
On your dam, because part of what he also said is that the way that it wasn't gated, it was supposed to be gated to also prevent that water from spreading to their community. Commissioner, can you hear me now, sir?
I hear you now. Yes.
Okay. So now I love the fact that you are able to say that yes, government has its own faults, and of course the people also have their faults. And I think why Mr. Omigbodu is not also explaining. If you can see, his own place is dry. It is because of his own personal effort in raising, his road. And he said that's what other people who bought lands around there are also benefiting. So, be that as it may, let me get your final say in regards to how the people should keep up and, a form of encouragement for the people.
Well, like I said, we have to work together, and we all have to correct the wrongs of the past. We all made this error, both the residents and government in that area. We all have to correct the wrongs. So let them follow us as we are making progress. We have started the rehabilitation work together, and they need to work with us. That's my advice.
All right, beautiful. At this juncture, let me say many thanks to you, Honorable Commissioner, for obliging us. And I hope when next we call again, you would always do as you have been doing. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
We wish you
My
a beautiful
pleasure.
day.
Thank you very much.
And
Thank
see
you
as
very
well,
much.
of course, to the governor himself, Governor Dakwabiodun. All right, viewers, we have been speaking with the Commissioner for Environment, Ogun State, and you have heard yourself, they will begin work on that very road. So let's just keep our fingers crossed and hope that this time around, as they have promised, there will be a kind of a relief for the residents of that community. But in that while, at this point in time, let me also let you hear more of what Mr. Omigbodu also said. So let's quickly take a listen to that.